ओम हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम। ओम भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः, भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः, स्थिरैरङ्गैः स्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः। स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः, स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः, स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः, स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम सहना भवतु, सहनौ भुनक्तु, सह वीर्यं करवावहै, तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। निधये सर्वविद्यानां विशदे भवरोगिणां गुरवे सर्वलोकानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ नमः प्रणवार्थाय शुद्धज्ञानैकमूर्तये निर्मलाय प्रशान्ताय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ तपोभिः क्षीणपापानां क्षान्तानां वीतरागिणां मुमुक्षूणामपेक्षोऽयम् आत्मबोधो विधीयते। श्लोक नंबर 38। विविक्तदेश आसीनः, विविक्तदेश आसीनः विरागो विजितेन्द्रियः, विरागो विजितेन्द्रियः भावयेदेकमात्मानं, भावयेदेकमात्मानं तमनन्तमनन्यधीः, तमनन्तमनन्यधीः। वर्स नंबर 39। आत्मान्येव किल, आत्मान्येवाखिलं दृश्यम्, आत्मन्येवाखिलं दृश्यम् प्रविलाप्य धिया सुधीः, प्रविलाप्य धिया सुधीः भावयेदेकमात्मानं, भावयेदेकमात्मानं निर्मलाकाशवत् सदा, निर्मलाकाशवत् सदा। भावयेत एकमात्मानम अनंत धीहि। वाई अनंत धीहि? अंतरम अनंतम अनन्य धीहि, एकम अनंतम आत्मान। One non-dual consciousness, the self, which is limitless. But how to meditate upon it? Ananyadhihi. being the one whose buddhi is not thinking anything other than the Atma. Anyam is other. Ananyam is not other than. Why we have to say this? Because for everything, when I say this is mobile, when I say this is hand, in Sanskrit, we have analysis of this sentence. Hastah asti. Pustakam asti. When we say ghatam asti, pustakam asti, Shankaracharya, in second chapter, 7th verse, 17th verse. Nasato vidyate bhavaha, na bhavo vidyate sata. There, Shankaracharya has given the analysis of how we know the object. When I say gataha asti, when I say pustakam asti, we think that, okay, this is book. This is pot. But Shankaracharya says, it is not one thought. Dve buddhi. There are two thoughts are there. When I say pustakam asti, book is. When I say pot is, there are two types of the buddhi are there. Ghata buddhi, asti buddhi. Pustakam asti, when I say pustaka buddhi and asti buddhi. That means there are two things are there. One is ghata asti, pustakam asti. Look at this way. Then another is what? Asti buddhi. Dve buddhi sarvatra. For any knowledge, these two buddhis are there. One buddhi is what? Vyabhicharati. Gata buddhi, hasta buddhi, pustaka buddhi. It is changing. That thought is changing. Asti buddhi, asti buddhi, asti buddhi doesn't change. So, the one which keeps on changing is not Atma. Asti buddhi is Atma. Therefore, when Shankaracharya says, Anantam ananya dhihi anantam atmanam bhavayat, being the one whose mind is totally dedicated to the self, nothing else, na anya, na other than, not anything else. Understand? So what we have to do? Ananyadihi means our buddhi has to shift from the pustaka, which is a naam and rupa. Gata is a naam and rupa. Gata means it's a name and form. Pustak, when I say, it is a name and form. Mobile, I say name and form. Body, I say name and form. So this name and forms are changing. But there is something which is the substratum of everything, adhisthana, which doesn't change at all. And that is called Sad Buddhi. Asti means Sat. So that Sat Buddhi doesn't change. And that is Atma. Understand that Sat is Atma. Sat means existence. There is a pot and there is the existence of the pot. There is a book and there is existence of the book. There is a mobile and there is existence of the mobile. So that existence is common to all, which is called Sat. So Bhagavan says, Sataha abhavaha na vidyate. That Sat, there is no absence of this Sat. Whether it is a pot, whether it is a book, whether it is a mobile, the Sat is common to all. Understand? Suppose there is a pot, it changes and it becomes the fragments. Then it becomes the powder. But that asti is always there. And therefore, here Shankaracharya says, Ananya Dihi. That means not anya, other than the self. That which is other than the self, that which is constantly changing. In Shastra, it is called Vikari. It's constantly modifying, constantly changing. Ananya Dihi means we have to look into that the self, which is not changing at all. Suryaha asti, when I say, Chandraha asti, Indraha asti, Brahma asti. Look at this. That asti is ananyadi. When our buddhi is totally dedicated to the Sat buddhi, it is called ananya buddhi. So being this ananya dihi is the person, understand? The person whose mind is not thinking other than the Atma, the Sat. That's why we have to say, being the one whose buddhi is not thinking other than the Atma, may you dwell upon the oneself. Therefore, this is very important. Yesterday we saw, Bhagavan also said, Atma samstham manakritva nakinchida pichin. Once your mind is established into the self, nothing else you are thinking of. It's not one day job, understand? Because when I say ghata, it is Sat. When I say clay, the mrud, that is also Sat. So wherever we see that Sat is everywhere. Anantam, Ekam, Anantam, Atman. Being the Sat Swarupa, this Atma is what? Anantam, limitless. Even when I say time, look at this, Deshaha, space, Asti, Kalaha Asti. That means what? You are that self, you are that Sat Swarupa which gives the existence to the time also. The time is being seen, understand? It's an object of your knowledge. You are the one who is lending the existence to the time. Kalaha, Kalo Jagat Bhakshataha. This entire world is being eaten by the time. But who is Paramatma? Who is the Lord? Mahakaleshwaraha. In Madhya Pradesh, Ujjain Nagari, there is a one of the Jyotirling is called Mahakaleshwara. The Lord is the Lord of the time. Understand? Therefore, Ananyadi means don't look into anything else. Remove your mind from the name and form and see the substratum, the Sat. That Sat we have to see, the existence. There is no absence of existence. Nama Rupa, the name and form are changing constantly. But existence doesn't change. It is same. Yad Vishaya Buddhi Vyapacharati Stat Astat Mithya. The buddhi, the thought which keeps on changing. This is pustak, this is the pot, this is the book, this is mobile, understand? So all these objects are changing. But the isness doesn't change. And that isness is you. Ekam Atma. Sadeva Somya idamagra asid ekameva dvitiyam. This is how Upadesha in Chandogya Upanishad start. This Jagat was one non-dual existence. This Jagat was one non-dual existence. And now what? Now also it is existence only. Without Nam Rupa also it is existence. With Nam Rupa also it is existence only. Sat Brahma. Therefore, once our mind is established into that one existence, one non-dual existence, don't think of anything else. Nakinchidapi chint. But how can I do that? Why? Because this whole world is there. So many Nama Rupas are there. My mind is completely engaged, completely full of this Nama Rupa, the names and forms. Drashya prapanche bhinsva bhinnatvena drishyamane sati. Not only that these all name rupas are being seen, experience. Their experience like other than me, swabhinnatve, understand? When I say this is book, this book is seen as other than the self. This cloth, when I say, it is seen as other than the self. And therefore, Katham Advaita Bhavana, how can I have that Ekam Advitiyam? Because I see many names and forms which are other than me, which are separate from me. Understand? Okay, existence is everywhere, I understand. But this non-dual self, how can I see that? So that's why the next verse, 39th verse, Shankaracharya gives us the solution, answer for that question. All the names and forms are there. Endless names and endless forms are there. What we have to do? Atmani eva akhilam drishyam pravilapya dhiya. All these names and forms are there. What we have to do? Resolve. Pravilapya means you resolve all these names and forms into oneself. Why? Because all these names and forms are there. They are not independent. They depends on this existence, the Sat Brahma. The names and forms are there. But they are what? They are seen, they are experienced by you. But if you look into it, you don't prove it. Understand? When I say ghataha asti, our problem is what? We are seeing exactly opposite. We think there is an object called ghata, pot, and pot is, when I say, we take the pot as an object and then we say there is an existence of the pot. Understand? So whole our vision, whole our understanding is opposite. Now pravilapya, resolving means what? We have to resolve this understanding. It is not existence of the pot. Pot exists when I say. It is not that pot exists. It's exactly like Swamiji used to give the example of the chain and gold. Golden chain. This is the way we call it. That means what? There is an object called chain which is golden. So the chain is the name according to grammar. Further. And adjective is what? Visheshana is what? Golden chain. But that's not true. It is not golden chain. It is a chainy gold. The gold in the form of the chain. It's not the chain which is golden. Do you understand? When I say white rose, the rose is the object and the white is the color of the object, which is the adjective to the rose object. If I say golden chain, then we have accepted there is an object called chain, which is golden. But in reality, what is it? It is a chainy gold. Gold is the object which is in the form of the chain. Same way. The existence is the vastu. And that existence is manifested in different names and forms. So it is not pot exist. It is existential pot. Understand? Chainy gold, not golden chain. The existence is manifested in the form of different names and forms. And therefore, Shankaracharya says, you have to resolve these names and form into existence. Atmani eva akhilam drashyam pravilapya. Because the gold is one. Before the creation of the chain, there was a gold. When there is a chain, there is a gold. When the chain is gone, gold is. And therefore, the existence of the chain is the existence of the gold. Similarly, you are that self-consciousness being, the self, the Sat. And that Sat is manifested in different forms and different names. Now what we have to do? Drishyam. Drishyam means the object of your perseverance. Akhilam Drishyam. All these names and forms are there. All these objects. You resolve them into one non-dual existence, the self. How? Dhiya. With the help of your buddhi. With the help of your buddhi, you resolve all these names and forms. See, that is the beauty of Vedanta. You don't have to destroy anything. To see the pot, to see the clay, I don't have to destroy pot. Keeping the pot in my hand, I can make you say, pot is not. It is called badhita, negated. So, every name and form has to be negated. Though you see them, though you're experiencing them, but they don't have any existence. Pot doesn't exist, understand? What is there is clay. Vrittiketev satyam, sadeva soumya idamagrahasit, vrittiketev satyam, vacharambanam vikaro namadeyam. The name pot is there, vagalambanam. Vacharambanam means on your tongue, the name pot is there. But when you look into the form pot, what you find is the clay. Similarly, this entire names and forms, the world is full of name and form. But every name and form is resolved into this existence. Dhiya, by your buddhi, by your thinking. But who can do that? Sudhihi, understand? This is necessary. Sudhihi, sthirapragnaha mumukshuhu, whose mind is totally resolved into the self. Or Sudhihi means who is qualified to understand the scriptures. Shushtu Dihi. Di means buddhi. One who has a buddhi which is qualified to understand this knowledge. Sudhihi. Once you have this Sudhihi, means once you are Sudhihi, then you can understand that whatever here is one non-dual existence. Nothing else is. Nama Rupa you are experiencing doesn't mean it exists. Pot you are using doesn't mean it exists. We already saw this. Samhatanam Pararsattva. That which is made up of many names and forms, many parts. When I say pushpam, flower, the petals are not flower. The stem is not flower. All these different parts of the flowers are put together. And we say that name flower. Human body, look at this. Hand is not human body. Eyes are not human body. Head is not human body. Chest is not human body. Back is not human body. Legs are not human body. That which is not human body, you put together, you assembled them and said, this is human body. Pustakam, when I say, what is Pustakam? This cover is Pustak. Can you call this one as Pustak? No. Can you call this one as Pustak? No. Can you call this ink Pustak? All this intelligently put together to serve a purpose is called Pustak. And therefore, what exists is you. Akhilam Atma. What exists is you. There is no existence of the pot, a book. Book is you, because you are the one who is lending the existence to this pot, this book. And therefore, Shankaracharya says, may you resolve all of them into one non-dual self. Because they don't exist at all. So the resolution we have to do. But how can I do this? So in Kathopanishad, Yamaraja has given this very beautiful. Yacheng Wang Manasi Pragnaha. These all objects are name and form, which is Vani, the speech. So may you resolve your speech into the mind. You resolve your mind into buddhi. You resolve your buddhi into the self-existence consciousness. The third chapter also, last two verses, that is what Bhagavan is telling. So slowly we have to resolve everything. All objects of knowledge are resolved into the senses. Indriyani paranyaho, indriyabhya paramanaha. You resolve this indriya, the senses, into the mind. Resolve the mind into buddhi. Indriyani paranyaho, indriyabhyah param manah, manasastu para buddhihi, buddhiratma mahan param. And you resolve your buddhi into the self. So, by this pravilapya, resolution, but it's not one day. Shanaihi uparamed buddhya truti gruhitaya. Slowly. Slowly you try to see that what is here is one non-dual existence. You have to uparamed, you have to take your buddhi back from all of them. Jagat pratishtha prithvi apsu praliyate. From the standpoint of the Panch Mahabhuta also we can do this resolution. All these objects are made up of annam. Annam, you resolve annam into the prithvi. You resolve the prithvi into its cause, water. You resolve the water into its cause called Agni, fire. You resolve the fire into its cause, Vayu, air. You resolve Vayu into its cause, Akasha. Understand? Prithvi apsu praliyate, Jyotishu apaha praliyante, Jyotirvayoho praliyante. You resolve. Then Vayuscharliyate vyomne. Each of them are resolving into its cause, karan. So there are two prakriyas, what I am talking to. One is called Drigdrishya Prakriya, subject-object method. This world is the object of your knowledge through the senses. The senses are the object of your mind. Your mind, through the mind you are seeing, whether eyes are seeing or not, ears are listening to not. The senses are the object of the mind. Mind is the object of the buddhi. Buddhi is the object of the self, Atma. And it's called Drigdrishya Vivek. Or second one is Karya Karan. You resolve the effect, Karya, into the cause. Once the Vayu is resolved into the space, Vyomni cha vyakte praliyate. This karya karma. Pot, when I say pot is the effect, karya. The clay is the cause. But once you resolve the Vayu into the space, Akasha, Akasha will be resolved into the self, Atma, Avyakta. The Avyaktam Purushe Brahman Nishkale Sampraliyate. So many prakriyas are there, so many methodologies are there for this meditation. Indriya Vyakparam Manasastu Para Buddhi Buddhir Buddhehe Mahata Kathopanishad. Mahatah Param Avyaktam Avyaktat Purusham Paraha Purushanna Parang Kinchit Sa Kashta Sa Paragatihi. This Akasha is resolved into the ultimate cause of everything, Avyakta, Maya. Avyakta means unmanifested. That Avyakta also is not independent. Avyaktat Paraha Purusha. This Avyakta, unmanifest form, the cause of everything, is also depending on the Purusha, you. Purushanna Parankin. There is nothing beyond you. So slowly we take one prakriya, methodology of meditation. And we have to see this clearly. Akhilam Atmani eva pravilapya. Once you have resolved that, Bhavayed ekamatmanam nirmal akashavat dhiya, understand? Then keep thinking of that self. Nirmal akashavat sada. Like the space. This Atma is what? Nirmal. There is no impurities. There is nothing other than the Atma. Pure means what? Shuddha. We already saw that. Shuddha means what? When I say this is pure water, that means what? There is, except the H2O, nothing else is there. Then it is called pure water. That's why in the market, what we see is not pure water. It is mineral water because there are minerals are there. It's not pure. Pure water means only H2O. Nothing other than that. It's called pure, Shuddha. Similarly, this self is what? Nirmalamatmanam. Except this existence, nothing is existing. You are one non-dual consciousness. Neha nana asti kinchana. Yamarada and Kathopanishad say, except the self, nothing else is there. Mrityusya mrityum apnoti iha iha nana eva pashyati. The one who is seeing the many, one who sees the multiple world, goes from death to death. Why? Because there is nothing else is there than you. Therefore, tatraikagram manakritvana kinchidapi chintaya, having established your mind into that, May you not think anything other than Nirmala Akashavat Sada. Look at this word, Sada, all the time. That's why we have to see through and through. When I say this mobile exists. Mobile also is what? Existence. The existence in the form of the mobile. The existence in the form of the book. The existence in the form of body. The existence in the form of the tree. The existence in the form of the ocean. Existence in the form of the earth. Existence in the form of the solar system. The existence in the form of the galaxy, the existence in the form of the entire universe. There is no absence of the existence. Sataha abhavaha na vidyate. It is. So that means our mind should not move away from this existence, the Sat Swarup. Whenever we are transacting in this world also, our mind is resolved into this Sat Swarup. Swamini, what you talk looks very nice, but when it comes to the day-to-day life, it becomes very difficult. So that's why the example what I gave you, the gold and the chain, the gold and the ornaments. Shankaracharya, in the next verse, giving this example. Verse number 40. रूपवर्णादिकं सर्वं रूपवर्णादिकं सर्वं विहाय परमार्थवित परिपूर्णचिदानन्द स्वरूपेणावतिष्ठते परिपूर्णचिदानन्द स्वरूपेणावतिष्ठते रूपवर्ण आदिकं सर्वं. Whatever we are seeing in this world are what? It is the name and form only. There are different rupas are there. Rupa means the form. Ghata, pata, pustaka. Varna means color. Shukla, Krishna, white, black, red, yellow, blue. Adi means what? There are different types of animals are there. There are different types of the trees are there. Different types of the fish. Jatis. Different names are there. So, from the standpoint of the form, from the standpoint of the color, from the standpoint of the size, from the standpoint of the species, from the standpoint of the akara, the shape, understand? Sarvam. As in the gold, there are different names and forms are there. Chain and earrings, nose ring, bangle. So different names are there. Different shapes are there. When I said chain, the chain also so many types of the chain. You go to the jewelry shop and say, I want to buy a chain. We put the whole, so many boxes in front of you. There are different shapes and size chains are there. The gold is one only. Same way, This world is made up of many names and forms, many shapes, many colors. What we have to do? Sarvam vihaya. You move your mind away from all this. Paramartha Vita, one who has gained the knowledge of this Paramartha, the Vastu. Paramartham janati iti Paramartha Vita. Paramarthika means what? That is a Sat, existence. It's called Vastu. And what is the self? Paripurna. It is Paripurna. It is total. Chidananda. It is Chit Swarupa, it is consciousness, Ananda, existential. Understand? See, that's why for us it is what? We think these names and forms are giving us Ananda, happiness. There is no happiness in the name and form because it's not there at all. Pot is not there, only clay is there. That which doesn't exist, how can it give you happiness? But that's what our foolishness is, that which doesn't exist, in that we see the happiness. And there is no happiness in this world because it doesn't exist. What exists is you, the consciousness, Chit. And that Chit is what? Ananda. Happiness. You are the happiness. You don't have to be happy, understand? You don't have to be happy. You are happiness. Paripurna Chidananda. The one who sees this Paramartha, the Vastu, he always, Avatishtari, he always established into this, the nature, which is happiness, which is consciousness, which is Purna, total. So this existence, what we say, is what? Paripurna Chidananda Swarupa. It is Ananda Swarupa. We have to dwell, Avatishta, means you have to dwell into that happiness of the self. Sada sarvam idam ahamascha brahma eva iti vruttim brahmamayim. I am that non-dual existence which is the happiness. All other thing is what? They don't exist. You have to remove the existence from them. We give the existence to mobile, and then now we look into mobile as Ananda. We give the existence to the body, and now we try to look the happiness in this body. We give existence to the house, and now we try to find the happiness in the house. We are not going to find it. It's not there. It doesn't exist. Where is the question of the happiness? And therefore, this Paramarthika Vastu, that is Atma, it is Chidananda. Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham. Look at it. It is not only for singing, it is for our understanding. I am that consciousness which is happiness. That means what? When Arjun asked Bhagavan in the 6th chapter, what is the quality, characteristics of the wise person? Sita pragyasya ka vasha, samadhistasya keshava. One sentence Bhagavan has given, understand. Atmani eva atmana tushta. The one who is happy with oneself. That means what? The person, the wise person is one who doesn't need anything else other than the self to be happy. Santushta. Atmani eva atmana tushta. He is happy by the self, in the self. Understand? Because you are Ananda Swarup. You don't need anything else other than the Sat Swarupa Atma. That is Ananda. So you learn to dwell upon the self, then you be the self. You don't have to become. There is no becoming. That's why Shankara Swarupena, by nature. It's your nature. The nature of the water is coolness, Shitalta. The nature of the fire is hot, Ushnata. The nature of the sun is light. Sun dwells upon its Swarupa. Same way, Kuva Chidananda Swarupena Avatishtate. You established into that nature, your own nature, which is happiness, which is consciousness, which is existence. Give up all that. Physically, you don't have to give up only dhiya. By your understanding, you have to give up everything. All nama rupa. Because they don't exist. Though you are experiencing them, doesn't mean they exist. Whole prapancha. No, Swamiji, you don't know how much we are struggling in this world. Okay. You are acting, you are performing your duties. Doesn't bother you. Why? Karmanyabhi pravruttebhi naiva kinchit karot. You tell, I am akarta atma. We already saw this. While performing action also you can say, naiva kinchit karomi. I am not performing any action. Understand? You are transacting in this world, but you can say, I am not transacting. I am akarta, abhokta. Na kartutvam, na karmani, lokasya srujate prabhuhu. Understand? There is no action, there is no kartutva. It's happening. Let it happen. What is to be done, you do it. But inside you know that I am not performing any action. Naiva kinchit karu. Yukto manyeta tattvavita. He said paramarthavit. There Bhagavan said tattvavit. The one who has understood the reality knows that even though all the actions are going on, I don't perform any action. So that's why all this method of meditations are required. Every method we have to follow. Subject, object, drik, drishya, vivek also we have to. Karya, karan also we have to. Same way, all actions we are performing. But I don't perform any. Karmani akarma yapashya. The person who sees non-actionness into the action. Bhagavan says, Sabuddhiman Manushya. That person is intelligent person among these human beings. That I don't perform any. Though performing action, you say I don't perform. Swamiji used to give the very beautiful story of Lord Krishna and Muni Durvasa. We all know Durvasa Muni means what? Short temper. So once Lord Krishna was playing with Gopi at the bank of Yamuna. And then one of his friend came and told Krishna, Krishna, Durvasa is coming. Everybody is frightened of this Durvasa, understand? Because anytime he curse anybody. So Krishna said, to make Durvasa happy is what? He asked all this Gopi, come on, quickly prepare some food for Durvasa. So all Gopi went and started preparing food for Durvasa. By that time, the other bank of Yamuna, other side of Yamuna, this Durvasa Muni with all his students were there. They were taking bath, Sandhya Vandana. They were taking bath. By that time, all this Gopi, they prepare food. And they wanted to cross this Yamuna. Now, the Yamuna is full of water. So Gopi said, Krishna, how to cross this Yamuna? So Krishna told this Gopi, okay, you go and tell Yamuna that if this Krishna is Nitya Brahmachari, and playing with Gopi, okay, but he is what? Nitya Brahmachari. You go and tell Yamuna that if this Krishna is Nitya Brahmachari, give us the marga, way to go to other side. These gopis were giggling, looking at each other. But they have to go to other bank. So they went and told this Yamuna. Immediately Yamuna stopped, gave the marga. So Gopi crossed. They crossed and went to the other side of the lake. Durvasa was waiting for this food. As soon as he saw this food, he consumed all food. These Gopi were shocked because Durvasa Muni is single, understand? They couldn't believe. He consumed all food by himself. Now Gopi has to cross the river. So they said, Muniji, do something for us to cross this river. So Durvasa said, okay, go and tell Yamuna, if this Durvasa is abhokta, and just now he has enjoyed this food, understand? He has consumed all this. And tell Yamuna that if this Durvasa is abhokta, give us the path. Immediately Yamuna gave them path and they crossed it. Krishna were performing different leelas but inside he knew, I am not performing anything. Tasya kartaram api mam vidhi akartaram abhyam. 4th chapter. Even though I am performing all these actions, may you know I am a karta, non-doer. Same way. Durvasa also was a wise person. So he said, even though I have consumed, I have eaten all this food, but I know I am a bhokta, I am non-enjoying. Same way, we also have to see this clearly. That though performing action, I am not performing any action. Though I am enjoying the objects, I am not enjoying. Akarta, abhokta. Once that is clear in our mind, all the time, while performing action, while not performing action also, we can see I am akarta abhokta chidananda rupa. I am non-dual happiness consciousness. So this is how we have to dwell upon the self. Next we see 2 more. Om asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrutyorma amrutangamaya. Om purnamada purnamidam purnat purnamudachyate purnasya purnamadaya purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Hari Om.
Hari Om, Mama.
Hari Om.
Hari Om Swamini. Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Hari Om Swamini.
Hari Om, Swamini.
Hari Om Swamini.
Hari Om,
Om Swamini.